My name is Thuy Pham. I'm a sixth grade teacher over at Creative Connections Arts Academy in the Twin River School District, so not too far away from here. So I work mainly with sixth graders, but I have worked with kids. I have a media class after school, so I've worked with kindergartens all the way up to with high school kids. So you guys have any questions, again, just ask. This presentation, if you guys have any questions at any point, just raise your hand or just interrupt me. I'm fine with that. So that way I can answer your questions. It's supposed to be for you guys, so go ahead and ask any questions you guys can, okay? So if you have a question, feel free to ask. If I go too fast and you want me to repeat it, I tend to talk fast, so just let me know, okay? All right. These are tricks and tips for you guys to produce awesome videos for either competition or just to have fun with. How many of you guys have entered into the SIVAs before? Right? Awesome, a couple people. Okay, well, this is the whole hopes of it, that you guys can create awesome videos to enter into competitions or just make awesome videos just to show to your friends, okay? Because the whole point is to create awesome video. How many of you guys have a smartphone out there? Right? How many of you guys have capture footage, okay? And this is where I think the issue is sometimes. A lot of people have capture footage on their phones or their device, and they think they're making a video, but they're not. They're really actually capturing footage. So now what do you do with the footage? You have to make a great video out of it, okay? Because that's the whole hopes of it. Everybody thinks nowadays is once you capture the footage, you can upload it on YouTube and go viral, but there's a lot to it, all right? This is one of the videos that my students created many years ago. They were sixth graders. It was actually a controversial topic when they did it. I was not sure if I wanted to let them run with it, but they actually created it, and they ended up winning the SIVA for the PSA. So, great video. If it doesn't work. So that was a video that was shot, I believe they shot it like 7 times. They shot it, and some scenes weren't right. It was too dark, so they redid it and redid it and redid it. And finally, when they were done, they had to do it one more last time with a better camera. So it does take a process, and in the end, I thought they did a super job. You guys ever see people videotape or video with their phone up in portrait mode right there? Can you guys please ask them to videotape landscape mode? That's like my pet peeve when people do it. I'm sure you guys have seen YouTube videos with the black bars on the side there. That's what happens when you shoot in portrait mode. So, and you guys look at TVs, look at the TV. The TV's wide, landscape. So when you're capturing like that, make sure you turn your phone. So that is a necessity when you guys are recording. So that's my only pet peeve. That's my only message to you guys. So please do it that way. Before you guys start, make sure you guys have some good equipment, all right? Because I think that's the key. Now, here's a link, like I said, to a lot of the basic stuff that I use. They're not equipment that would cost you, that will break the bank. I try to do everything under 20 bucks. That's my hopes of it. I go for just a basic tripod, an iPad holder. The iPad holder is awesome right here. It holds the iPad with the case, so I don't have to take the case out. I have other holders that I have to take it all apart, and so this one I don't have to do anything. It also comes with a little iPhone holder too, or a smartphone holder, and a little handle. So that's the best bang for the buck for 13 bucks. A lighting clamp, or my favorite too is the lantern, the white lantern. It adds a lot of light to what you're doing. Great for stop motion, great for broadcast media, because you just hang it into your classroom and it's easily assembled, and it costs roughly around $30 to assemble. I also have like expensive lighting equipment, but it takes a lot of room and it takes a lot to set up, and it's not something that you can leave on. So I love to use a lantern and vary the light bulbs, either like a soft light or a tungsten light, to kind of get the ambiance that I need to it. So the lantern is what I recommend. Having a couple of them makes a big difference too, and it spills out the light evenly, so it's really nice. And I have a portable light right here. What you guys see is more of a direct light or as a backlight right here. So there are 2 lamps comes for the price of 20, so I highly recommend it. And it comes with really cool color filters too. So, and those are all Amazon links. So if you guys have a chance, that's a great budget to shoot with under $100. Besides the iPad, of course. The more advanced equipment is a gimbal, and it's only used for my iPhone, but it's for smooth shots. If you guys ever see the smooth shots, if you guys plan to walk or you guys plan to run or just trick advanced shots, you got to get yourself a gimbal because it's just really outstanding to get those more advanced shots. We also have like different lighting. This is the lighting setup that I love to use. It's really bright. I'm sorry, you guys. So it actually provides a light, and you can adjust the light, so it does do a lot to it. So sorry about that. But it does great lighting for the price, too. So you don't have to have the big setup to get decent footage. So you can go with very inexpensive. But again, these are the advanced equipment. If you want to invest in more advanced shots, then this is the money route that you want to go with. Okay, but again, not too bad because you guys are going for under, $1,000 for a whole setup. The main things that I use is the iPad. The iPad is the one-stop shop. You shoot on it, you edit on it, and you can add special effects on it too. I tell my students if you want to do more advanced stuff like green screening and other things and colorization, then you have to move towards the desktop. But it's a great way to start out all your video projects. When you don't have to use Adobe Premiere, you don't have to use Final Cut. That's like the Ferrari of all video editing and video production. So I say you got to start out with the Honda Civic first. You got to start out with the basic model, which is the iPad. Once you have mastered that, I've done great projects on just using iMovie. So iMovie is great for the basic things that you need to. And then if you start to want more, then go ahead and start building up there. But don't start off with the Ferrari because you're going to end up just overwhelming yourself. And same with equipment too. I used to own high-end equipment, but I didn't want the students to use it because they didn't know how to use it, whereas they can use the iPad. What's your question? It should let you export. So the question was that your phone is not letting you export. The only thing that I'll take a look at it afterwards. The only thing I can think of is maybe your memory's full. Okay, but that's what I use. I have 10 iPads that my students use, and it's all linked up to one account. So what just makes it convenient is once they're done with it and they export out there, it goes onto my Google Drive, and then that way I don't have to plug in anything. So that's what makes it convenient for teachers out there, that you don't have to go and retrieve anything. It can just be exported right there. That's another reason why I like iMovie too, is that when you export it out, you own the video. So sometimes they do basic video editing, and then they export it out there, and then they do colorization, or they add a better text to it, or graphics, or green screening. So it's a process. So that's what I like about it, where if you use other things like Animoto, the website owns it. So iMovie does a lot for it, and I think a lot of the video editors try to copy what iMovie has provided. So, and I think WeVideo has done a good job. YouTube used to have an editing, I think. I'm not sure if they have the editing program on there anymore, but it's hunky. It's really hard to use. But like I said, iMovie, it's a great way to go if you guys are just doing basic skills and learning on iMovie. And they've done a lot to advance the cameras too, adding lens or different apps you can use to make the camera look better. I'm planning for a full-length, like an hour and a half movie next year, all shot on an iPhone. I want to go out and get I have an iPhone 6 right now. I want to get the iPhone 7 with the 4K camera. So it's better camera footage, but it's all in the planning process. So that's what I want to shoot next year, is on my iPhone. So to show that it can be done on just basic equipment on what you just have. You don't have to go out and buy anything major. No, right, and we'll talk about that too. Yeah, I don't think there is when you're going basic, I don't think there is ever a simple solution. I mean, you guys got to remember that these video productions, these movie productions, they're putting millions and millions of dollars and tons of time into it, where I've been on real sets and watch what they use and look at the time and realize that we're doing pretty good for a school production, and that's what it is. It's a school production. There's going to be some flaws. It's okay. You guys are not meant to go out there and produce the flawless things where they spend time and making sure they're on. You guys are learning, and I think that's what's important, that it is a learning process. But at the same time, you guys are still creating something that's awesome. One of my pet peeves is when somebody creates something, when my students create something or something's out there, and people go, well, that's not bad for a kid production. My thing is, my hopes is that my kids produce something and it fools people. What? Who made that? Did you make that? Actually, my students made that. Really? They made that? That's awesome. You know? So I don't want you guys to feel that you only can produce low quality stuff. I think you guys can produce awesome stuff, but you guys really got to think about it. And I'll show you guys how. The very first step is the pitch, right? You guys got to come up with an idea. 30 seconds, can you guys come up with an idea? I usually say come up with an idea that goes around recycling or goes around bullying or any type of project. And quickly tell me about it. You don't have to give me the details as far as the character's name, but just tell me a guy gets bullied on the playground, somebody steps in, helps him out, delivers a good message. In the end, they're friends. Great, go with it. So just a quick pitch. And usually start out with something simple, a PSA. A PSA is a public service announcement. It is a commercial that's 30 seconds long. Start out with that. When you guys give a project, usually the kids want to go on and do big projects, and I'll show you guys in a minute. And the projects don't get done. So start out with the commercial, because commercials, everybody's seen it. Raise your hand if you guys seen a commercial. So you have a reference to go by. Once you set up a PSA, if they're done with that, you can go with a 1-minute script. It's a 1-page script. Simple problem, simple solution. And it doesn't have to be major. It's something, we did this one with my students. Somebody lost their glasses. They went to 5 different places looking for their glasses. In the end, you know where their glasses was? On top of their head. You know, so it's a simple problem, a simple solution. All right? And it's all in the acting, it's all in the dialogue, and it's all in the camera movement. It doesn't have to be something like over the top. But I get that sometimes. This is the pitch that I get from my students sometimes. I get this pitch. Okay, so there we are, right? We're going to be fighting, and then the alien ship's going to come in. I'm going to fire a whole bunch of laser guns, and then the alien ship's going to come down, and it's going to suck me up, and then when it sucks me up, it's going to be a big bang, and then the car's going to come in, and all these things. Like, whoa, slow down. This is your first project. So this is what they want, right? This is what they really want, but this is what they get. This is what happens. Okay, so that's the difference, because in their mind, they're going, yes, yeah, and then run, and then jump, and then do this, and then that, then this, but really, yes. Okay, all right. Okay, that's a great idea, but how can we execute it? And I think that's what we want to go for, okay? So come up with a good plan, and that's where it comes from. Have a storyboard, do your research. I tell my students, go out there and find... have you guys ever, there's a website with great videos on it. It's called YouTube. You guys ever? Yeah, it's the coolest website. Yeah, you go on there, you type up stuff, and like videos pop up. YouTube, check it out. It's really cool. Okay, you guys heard of that? Yeah. Okay. Anyways, but go do your research. Check out websites. Go check out different videos on it. Borrow, pick from, or even reboot a video that you guys have seen. That's okay. I like the way this video did this. I like the way this video did that. And then recreate it. You guys have, how many of you guys are Stranger Things fans out there? Yes, Stranger Things fans? All right. Okay, I am too. Just got done with season 2. But when I tell people I've just watched Stranger Things, people say, what's that? So I tell them, well, it's a combination of Aliens and Predator, and I name a couple of different movies. So that's what you guys are creating, different combinations of different videos out there. Trust me, there's videos that are out there that have been created. So it's hard to recreate something brand new. So go out there and check out videos and borrow some. Ooh, I like the angle off of this off of this video. Ooh, I like the way they use this portion, or I like the way they did that. So just borrow it and then recreate it into your video. Create a storyboard. That's super duper important. I have a link on here to create it. You can do a simple storyboard that's taking pictures or using stick figures or something very basic, but you need to know this. And teachers, you need to see this too, because when I look at storyboards, I look at the camera angles. I look at how they're going to shoot. My biggest thing I always get the students on is I notice that you guys only have one camera angle. Everybody shoots like they're watching theater, so everything is shot from a long shot. Where things, you know what, if somebody's screaming, you guys should zoom in on that. Should be an extreme close-up right there. Or use different types of dialogue angles, over-the-shoulder shots, some more advanced shots. So things like that you guys need to plan on. And I tell the kids, once you draw it, once you plan it, you should execute it exactly the way the picture looks. So when I see the video footage, I go, how come you guys didn't shoot it the way the storyboard looks? So, and that helps out the camera person too. All right? When you get good enough, you can just do a simple outline. Just write a simple outline what kind of shots you want. Okay? But a plan is necessary. When you guys form your team, I usually go with a team of 3. A team of 3 works best because then you have an actor, you have a director, or 2 actors, and a director and a writer. And then you can have multiple jobs. So you have your writer who's writing the script, your artist who's creating the storyboard, you have your director who's in charge of and knowing exactly what to do, you have your actor or actors, and then you have your prop person getting the equipment they need, the camera, any other items that you need to film this video. So that's usually a necessity. And again, you might have 2 or 3 jobs, okay? And this is one of the hardest part is forming a team that works together. I tell my students that your friends don't make the best teammates because you tend to fool around sometimes. So have an objective, get a great team that works well. Okay, find somebody that can act because you're going to need that. This is important when you're doing your storyboard, pick out your angles really well, okay? This is where you guys need to be creative too. Go look at different angles on YouTube and look at look what Hollywood's using. You guys can recreate most of those angles that they're doing. We just created a video about recycling where the kid throws the water bottle in the trash, and then we green screen his face on the water bottle, so the water bottle's talking to him. So my advice was, why don't we put the iPad inside the garbage can looking up so it gives the point of view of the water bottle looking up at the person. So it just changes the perspective. And my advice is shoot it 2 or 3 times. What's the worst that can happen? You guys don't like this shot, but you like that shot? Then do it. Better to have more than less. So always shoot more than less. That's one of my major advice too, because if you shoot everything and you're editing it and you're thinking in your head, man, it would have been really neat to have a shot like this. Okay, but you guys don't realize what you're wearing today. Most likely you're not going to be wearing tomorrow. So if you go to shoot it, then you got to come in and the continuity of the shot, you got to wear the same shot. So then you guys ever notice on TV or a video, somebody's hair in one shot is up and then in the next shot is down? Or I saw in Spider-Man, this is a multi-billion-dollar production altogether. They're drinking coffee. I noticed these things in movies. He's drinking a soda, and in one shot it's full, and then the next shot is half empty, and then the third shot is full because they took multiple clips out of it and they probably drank it along the way and forgot to fill it up there. So things like that, it's best to get everything done at one time, then go back and redo it again. So remember, shoot more than less. I've been doing this for a long time, since I was your guys' age, and back then we used videotapes. You guys, I'm sure some teachers remember shooting on videotapes out there. So they were expensive. So we had to be really careful about what we shot. But nowadays, most things are digital. So if you're shooting digital, shoot it, then erase it later. So it's not a big deal. So overshoot. All right. Think about the point of view, what you guys want to convey when you guys are shooting. From top down, if you guys can convey it, the audience is feeling the same way that you're shooting. So most people shoot at eye level, but when you're shooting above, you want to shoot for power. When you're shooting from above, you want to shoot that vulnerability. So if you're shooting like a little kid or a bully perspective, tilt the camera a little bit down. So point of view is really important, how you convey that message too. And think about where you guys are shooting from. When we're videotaping, most people like that distance of right here. And so what you get is get the whole body. But the problem is people don't like to invade the bubble spot. Come up a little bit closer. When we shoot, maybe you want a close-up shot. It feels weird when the camera's right there, and people don't like that because it invades your private bubble. So, but sometimes you do have to capture that shot close in. So you got to remember that different camera angles requires you different distance. Another thing is when you're far away, step back, and you're having a dialogue shot, like what you said earlier, the microphones are not great. So why are you shooting so far away when, can you move in closer? Because we need a good dialogue sequence here. Now the mic's closer, whereas if you talk from far away, it's hard to hear somebody, and you can notice the microphone from far away. Whereas if you move it in closer. So the same, think about where you're shooting and how you're shooting. Thanks, appreciate it. So the distance and where you're moving. The camera person is super duper important too, because when you're filming, if you're standing up, if he's standing up and your final shot might be cutting off their head. So make sure that you understand the movement that's going on, or if they're walking, that you follow and understand how to follow somebody. We've had people that are following on their phones using tripods or monopods and following and not understanding where to go, and they run into trees or they trip over things. So you got to make sure that your movements are well. So not everything is stationary. So if you have movement, make sure that you guys practice that movement. Okay, now, we did this on purpose, so this is over dramatic. So we shot this in one shot. Because a lot of times, too, we see kids shoot with only using one shot rather than cutting it up there. So this is a little bit over the top, but just to prove a point.
Action.
Hey, guys, let's get in the car.
Hey, you know we can save gas by riding our bikes and stuff to school?
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Let's do that.
So again, a little over the top. Most kids would get take cuts to it, but just sometimes you guys get one shot. Where how can you guys break this up? How would you be able to break it up into a different video? So this is the same video, just broken up into proper editing and planned out. Sound spikes up a little bit, but get in, guys.
Hey, you know that we can save gas by riding our bikes and stuff to school?
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, let's ride our bikes and skateboards to school.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool.
So there's just different videos, just cut up and edited differently, and just thinking about different shots that you could have there. And like I said, this is shot right across the street from my school, so we plan out things. Why pretend to be in a car when you can somehow fake it? So, so we didn't get into the car, but it gives the illusion that we are about to drive in a car. So if it can be done, think about that. Different shots too. I have people that don't use props, that when they're doing a scene with the cell phone, they use their hand. So, and these are like some of my theater background kids too. So because they're used to doing things on theater using fake stuff, where I'm like, well, this is a video. You need to use real props if you guys can, because then you want to give the illusion that this is really happening, all right? This is the hardest part, because a lot of kids, once you have a plan, once you have a storyboard, you want to start to film. But I think it's important to rehearse, and practice. How many of you guys out there have practice and you guys think you guys have your lines, and then as soon as that camera's in front of your face, you freeze up? Yeah, it happens all the time. Yeah, all my kids do that. And I always say, we're ready. We want a camera, Mr. Pham. I go, okay, ready? Here we go. Action. Well, I'm not ready yet. Well, then you need to be ready, because the camera's going to be in your face. You're going to be put on the spot, so get ready to go. And then practice how you're going to say it, because, again, like most Hollywood productions, they do it 10, 12 times until they get the right take. So make sure you guys practice how you guys are filming. And it's okay not to memorize the lines, but remember the sequence of what you're doing. So rehearse it. And also the camera person needs to be there, and the director needs to be there, because you want to look at the movements and how you guys are moving. So that's super important too. So rehearse. For more advanced tips, make sure that when you guys are filming outside or like at a school setting, that your time, like if you're filming at lunchtime, that you are aware that there's a lot of noise out. Be aware that if you're filming, where's the sun at this point, so that way it doesn't cast any shadows. Plan out your shots too. If you're shooting like today, that it's going to be raining. So you guys have got to make sure that. So plan and rehearse, and think about your wardrobe too. If it's over 2 days, I always tell them, bring a set of clothing that you can just throw in a bag and then keep at school, so then you can change into that same set of clothing for 2 or 3 days, So think about your plan and practicing. Robert Rodriguez does, Spy Kids. He's one of my favorite director and writer. And here's a sequence that he's sitting down there looking at and planning. But then when the real thing happens, he's looking at it. He's going, okay, move so I can see how you're going to be moving. So that's important too. So ask your actors to move. You don't have to have your main actor, but just have anybody move or move yourself. So that way you can kind of see the sequence of how they're going to move to kind of understand what to film and what to look for. Okay? And that's what a director needs to do, is direct. Tell somebody, can you move slower? Can you move faster? Can you do this? Can you do that? That's what a good director does. When you're filming, this is the hardest part. This is where the fights happen. Do you have a question? Or? No? Okay. This is where the fights happen. This is where the arguments happen, because hardly will my students get projects done in one day. It takes a period over 3, 4, 5 days, over a week. So the thing is, they have to stay focused. You got to stay focused. Use your storyboard to help you guide along. Get this shot, then get that shot, then get that shot, then get that shot, and move on until you capture all the shots. And have a plan. When you guys leave my classroom, make sure where are you going, what are you going to be filming today, and be ready. Okay? The setup too. The prop person or the camera person, it's gonna take like 10 minutes, 15 minutes to set up, get all your lighting, if you have lighting and everything else ready to go. If how many of you guys have about an hour, right, to film in your time? So that's not a lot of time. So if you guys have about an hour or 45 minutes, a lot need to be set up, and that 15 minutes could be crucial to you guys setting up. Sometimes you don't even have an hour. Sometimes you only have like 25, 30 minutes. So make sure that you guys are all set up, ready to go. Even the iPad on to the tripod, ready to go and ready to film. Makes a big difference. Be dressed and ready to go too. That can be done at recess time. So that way every minute counts. I've been on a real movie script where it takes hours to set up the movie, all the equipment and the sets. So an hour. So you guys are doing awesome to set up only in 20 minutes and 15, 20 minutes. So, but it does make a difference to have a plan. Now, when you guys are shooting, here's the sound issue. And this is the problem, because sound is 50% of your movie, of your video that you're making. If you guys get a 50% grade, who knows what 50% grade is, letter grade? What is it? What is it? It's an F, right. It's an F. So if you have great footage, but your sound stinks, then basically you're walking in with an F video. Does that make sense? I've been lucky enough to help judge the SIVAs. So any video that comes in that we watch that basically has poor video quality, they throw it out automatically. They don't even look at the footage. They just the sound is so awful and so bad and so off that they just end up getting disqualified. So really focus on your sound. The main thing is just get closer. That's one thing that you can do to capture the sound. In that video with the car that I help my students with, you heard the wind noise in the background. That's hard. You cannot stop that. And it wasn't even windy that day, but it still picks it up. So the ADR, you can basically record afterwards and post. So do voiceovers if you need to. So if it's really bad, you can do voiceovers. If the video's all bad, then I would recommend you shooting it. I recommend always shooting indoors, because then the noise is a little bit more controlled. You know, you can't go out to the playground and tell everybody on the playground to be quiet, you know? And a lot of people don't have the expensive mics. I use a Zoom here, and this is a great, I think it's, about a long time, I think it's like $30, $40. So this is a great substitution if you want, this is a great add-on if you want better quality. I use this for my media class, because then it's used for a microphone, so then you capture good microphones. The problem is you do have to do this in post, and you do have to sync the sound to your video later on. But this will help out with the sound quality if you guys want better sound and you're serious about the sound. So it's a great fix. Again, it's like under $50, and it has a mini SD card on the side, and you just have to plug it into your editing program, pull it out like in an MP3 file, and then you just sync it up the sound. But the sound quality is awesome. And usually you just want to have somebody hold it down below, and just make sure that they don't capture the fuzziness or just from the side there. So when you're capturing video, so it helps out with the extra sound quality. So I highly recommend a sound equipment if you are serious about capturing good sound. All right. So there's the kind of a help out right there. And it's hard to fix anything in post if it's extremely bad. You can't, again, unless you have really high-end equipment like the equipment they use in Hollywood to cut down the video, the sound. But you do your best. Be careful when doing video. If you're doing stuff for fun, then go ahead. I always recommend, go ahead and use the Katy Perry song, because you're just doing it for your friends and all that. But if you plan to do it for competition, you really have to be highly sensitive to the copyright. Your project will automatically get thrown out of any competition if you're using copyright material, because it's not yours. You're basically stealing from somebody else. So again, if you're producing it for your friends just to show around, usually they're not going to care, because you're not doing anything but it's just for everyday use. But any type of competition, you really should get in the habit of using copyright, royal-free songs, images, or anything else that belongs to anyone else. Lighting is important. This is my last part. Can I have my models, please? My models, come on up. Okay. Like I said, my lighting equipment is less than $100, but it adds a big difference, okay? I'm going to have my model come up here. What was your name?
My name's Mariah. Sadia.
All right, okay. Now, Mariah's going to step on here. Now, no, not yet. Do you see, look forward. Do you see the shadows on our face right now? All right, you see shadows on our face. So what you're going to do is go ahead and grab the reflector. I have one main light. I have a couple of main lights, but I have another light that's going to come in. And if I shine it straight to Mariah's face, it's going to be too much light. So what I'm going to do is bounce that light off her face. So moving closer. So now we're going to fill that light in. You see her face now? Okay, move it up a little bit. Okay. I know you guys can't see it, but if you see in the screen, if you can zoom in, maybe. Put it down. Hold it down. No, hold it down completely. Okay, and then I'll pop it up again. Did you guys notice that? Yeah. Okay, so it does add a difference on lighting and playing around with lighting. If you don't have a fancy reflector, use a whiteboard. Use a piece of paper, a large poster paper, because anytime the light bounces back and onto your face, it really adds a lot. All right, thank you guys. Okay, so it's highly recommended too. And then a reflector also can diffuse the light to make that light softer. Okay. Those are my models. I'll get you guys a paycheck later, okay? So you guys can go hang out in your trailer now with your Fiji water and M&M's, so. All right, but here's some basic lighting tutorials if you guys need it. So I'll link to the slides there. When you're done too, it's important to have people look at your project and for you guys to reflect too. A lot of people don't like looking at the project, but it's important because it is always, I always tell my students, what do you think you will improve next time? What do you guys like about your project and what can you improve for next time? And it's super crucial. I never did this before, and the kids never really learn anything. I said, you know what? They're practicing, they're playing. We don't need to critique it. But they do, you know? And so my kids have gotten really critical going, I heard the wind noise there. I heard this movement. There's a little bit of shakiness. So it is important to think about your reflection, all right? So, but the most important thing, though, you need to have fun with your video, okay? Plan a good project and have fun with it. Go out and learn. It's going to take you guys a couple of times to get good at it, so practice, 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 all right? Well, I'll be around if you guys have any questions. Email me if you need any equipment. You guys can borrow my stuff if you guys need it. Just let me know ahead of time. I can get you guys stuff out there because I believe that if you have the right equipment, right tool, right idea, that you guys can make fun projects, and I love to see students have fun with it. And someday if you guys are big directors or big actors or something in Hollywood, you don't have to give me money. Just give me a shout out when you guys win Oscars or something, so I appreciate that, okay? All right. Thanks, you guys.